Boost! Welcome back to the channel, guys. Right, let's see if we can get the 144 530 going. This truck does run mint, she was fine, but we had a fuel issue and it is the pump, but it is going to cost me thousands of pounds unless I can find another way, which I think I have, which I'll show you what I'm doing to get her going without needing to break the bank. First, every lorry tipper we need to lift the grille, but if a 4 Series, the central grille lifts, right, then you need to take out the sides, like that. Otherwise, when she tilts forward, they'll crush. There we go. Look at that trucker, Tim. Imagine taking them off without ripping them off. Now, the cab tilt on most Scanias is in the bumper there, right? But on this old girl here, it's just under here. In fact, she's actually got a new cab tilt. So all you just do is, like anything, twist that like a jack, and we jack her up. Now, people always do seem to ask me, what's happened with the 4 Series? Why haven't you done it yet? These things cost a lot of money, and when we bought this, we didn't have the money. I'll explain. If you don't know, you haven't been following me for a long time, I'll explain the story of this lorry through the video, right? But I really wanted it back, and didn't have the money, but we bought it back, and I've spent a lot of time making sure we can keep it. But now we want to get going, and hopefully get our way to paint. We've got a few more things to do to it first, though. Let's get the cab up. And there she is in all her glory, the Scania 144 530 engine. Look at the size of the turbo. In fact, this one has been tweaked and tuned, so we don't know exactly what she's pushing, but I've been told she's pushing over 600 brake, which is quite easy. Scania V engines are capable of so much more power than they come from factory. There's ones that are doing over 2,000 brake horsepower, but not for a long period of time because you can't keep them cool long enough. The Scania Marina engines are 1,200 brake horsepower, the ones that are in boats, but they've obviously got a different cooling system so they can keep them cool. There goes the rain. Here we go. I mean, look at the size of that turbo. That is my hand on that turbo. So basically the problem is with... Oh, let's get in here. Basically the problem we have, right? So in here is the fueling system, right? I was out in the lorry one day, everything was running fine, and it sounded like she ran out of fuel. And that's what we thought had happened. But after running everything, we could not get fuel up to the side of the fuel pump, the rack here. Now, suspicions is, what they say is the rack's like jammed over, and that's it, new rack. That whole thing there from Scania, God, I'm getting wet, is thousands of pounds, which in the budget we don't have. So, but on the side here, we have the lift pump, and I've been told by people wiser than me to change that before I change anything else. This is still the problem I have. One, I haven't had the time or the money to actually build a better shelter, maybe with the 2 containers or something like that. Because I've got some tools in there and locked away in there, I end up just, instead of going back for it, I just take the whole lot with me. I can't wait till the day. I have a garage, I don't have to work out in the rain, and a pit, and I've got all my stuff. Oh, mind you, I look back in these days. Now, I've removed these 2 pipes here, but it's still not giving us much room. Unless I can get these ones disconnected, I might have a chance, but I really don't think we're going to be able to do this. I do think this is going to be strip all that side down, and I think I'm going to have to get as much done as I can tonight before it gets dark, and then the rest is going to have to be done tomorrow. The worst thing is, in my head, I hadn't been under it for ages. I thought, oh, it's just literally right there. I forgot, though, it's right down there. Guys, it's bad news. It's definitely got to be all... This whole side's got to be taken out, the inlet and everything, because I don't know how to get in there. Maybe there is another way. Somebody drop a comment if there's another way of getting in there. But I think I can't get a spanner down in there. And if even after, if I do get it off, getting it all back in and lined up, I think it's going to be impossible. I just can't see this happening. So that comes off. I'm just I just want to start taking off like all the intercore and taking all that. Like that's, I mean, if it comes off easy, it's fine. But I'm just worried. Well, there's all seals in there. There's gaskets, and I don't want to start. Oh, we'll take that off first. What do I need? Okay, look, I've noticed while doing this. This is why when you're doing a restoration, you've got to be prepared for every little bit. See that? It's all perished away. So I told her that'll have to be replaced. This is the thing. Before we go for this repaint, we want to give it. The chassis is all good, but under here, well, hoses like those hoses there, coolant hoses. These are all things we have to replace. It's very expensive when you start getting into it. Under here, replace all that heat shielding. You know, I mean, things like that. You want to go get that rubber. Try and get that. By the way, if anyone is watching this has this kind of stuff lying around, hit me up and give me a price. I would like to buy it off you. All disconnected and unbolted. Feed for the compressor. Just get a case of wiggling it all out. Off. That's it off at the turbo. Take it off of the filter. Okay. What's holding on to this? Oh no, there we go. There we go. An intake pipe removed. That gives us a lot more. Well, not much more, but here, I wonder, I might, oh here, that gives us a bit of room in there. Now that I've removed that, I might be able to get into these two hoses here. Look, see in from here. And then we'll just see. Basically, I want to avoid having to take all of this off. I really want to avoid taking all of that off. Like, I will not take that off until I make a phone call to make sure what happens when I take all that off, what the consequences are. So guys, I have been at this for about 15-20 minutes and I can't get any of them fuel pipes off. I can't get enough leverage and spanners. So it looks like all of this, oh God. It looks like all of this is got to come off. And then there's another manifold in behind there. But be honest, before I do that, I want to make a phone call, see if I can get a hold of a couple of people and ask them, you know, about gaskets and everything, because just before we go into the realms of something and make a mistake, we can't. It's going to be costly to replace. Right, good news. Scania are not too harsh on the gaskets for once in their parts department. They're only £60 odd plus the VAT. Bad news is they don't keep them in stock. Cause this is an older lorry, they don't keep them in stock. We've had to specially order them in, which is a pain in the ass. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and start stripping it down, to be honest. I'll just bugger it. Let's do it. Let's just do it. So if I start to strip it down, what I'll do is we'll order the bits and we'll just cover this all up. But then when we get them ready to go, because, you know, when we get the time to do it. So I'm hoping, right, undo here, undo the bolts. Hopefully I can just, I'm hoping I can slide this out from under these pipes here. I don't have to undo them all, which is not a problem, but I would just rather not touch them. Now remember guys, any parts, brackets and that you strip off, try and return any nuts and bolts in places so you remember where they go. It always helps. Now this is my biggest worry why I didn't want to take this manifold off, is this reason. These bolts, right, might not come out easy. I'm just worried about one snapping. They might all just go do, but it's just one of these things. I would just rather avoid it, but let's go, let's see what happens. Oh, these are coming out nice and easy, which is good. So I'm just going to slacken them all off and then I'll take them all out fully. That is it all. Oh wait, there's that cable there. What does that do? That plug there. Let me disconnect that quickly. Take out this wee sensor. And in theory, it should come off. Theory. With a wee persuader, no, a rubber persuader, not metal, because this is cast alloy, it'll just break it. If not, just gonna give it a wee dunt. Nothing happened. Whoa. There we go. My idea's not going to work. I didn't look at it enough to realise that wasn't going to work. If I looked at it enough, I'd have realised that's not going to work, sadly. So the original idea was to just slide this out there. We just slide it out, right? And hopefully we have to take off any of the fuel pipes. But that's not going to work because see the other manifold in there? See, it's just hitting. So this has to come off. So let's take that off. Learning curve, learning curve. I'll make these mistakes, okay? Now I've disconnected. Here, everything's coming off so easy, I'll be honest. Touch wood. There we go. Now that's leaving all more exposed again. Let's see if this will come out. Oh, there we go. Right guys, there you go, that's that out. So far so good. I don't know what to do about the gaskets. I might try and get some gasket paper in the morning, see if we can make our own so we can get it all back together and tested. Because I don't want to get to like middle of next week and we're still waiting for the gaskets from Scania. So I'll just see what we can do. I'll do a wee bit of research tonight, and but if not, we'll find other things to do in the meantime. But no, so far so good. But see you in the morning. Oosh. It's not even morning, guys. I went out last night, had a few, so I am feeling it today. But we're back out. My mum's doing the lawnmower over there, and it's going right through me, but we've got to live. So, couldn't get any gasket paper, but I made some phone calls. I think we're better getting the proper stuff anyway. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to finish doing the strip down, fit the new part, and then... Oh, God. That sounds broken. That sounds like you broke the blade.
What?
Sounds like you broke the blade.
Wait a minute.
You've got your headphones in.
What are you saying?
That sounded like you broke the blade.
No, I didn't.
Turd!
I does that all the time.
Back to the old girl. So, let's get the gasket. I've got the gaskets ordered. Plus, I'm going to make a wee list of other bits we need. See if we can try and start finding them. But I'm going to fit the wee pump today. Wee primer pump. And just, I don't know, we'll just test her up and just see if she'll bring any fuel to the top. But that's all we can do, so we'll just crack on. Alright, so we kept everything nice and dry. So the next bit I'll do is this one. We've got these bolts here, and that should lift off and that will give us access right in there. But we just got to be careful with all of this. Touch wood, yesterday was going very well. We never had any, like, everything I was really concerned about giving us issues didn't give us issues, so I'm hoping today is going to continue like that. Hoping. So guys, I've just been undoing all these last wee pipes here. I might well get a new one of this because it's very corroded here. I've had to take off up the top here. These wee sensors, and then I've taken a sensor off and obviously not realising, like, I've never done this before. Wow, the turbo's in bad shape. Jesus. Guys, I'm just looking down the turbo here. Look at this. Look at the fins. What on earth? It's solid though. I don't know if this turbo's blown before. And that's... I don't even... can somebody drop a comment, but we can't put that back together. That can't stay like that. I don't know what to think. Bloody hell. I mean, drop a comment if you can help on that one. I'll have to do some research. But no, like I was saying here, this other piece I'm about to take off, just wasn't really thinking of what it was, but it's coolant. See, there's a radiator, comes through here, right, and this. So I want to watch, hold on, I took this one off. See? So I need to watch because I'm going to lose all the coolant in the engine, and I don't want this to be like no coolant in it for too long.
The air can actually work its way out. There's a bit of weight behind it, and that'll all probably come out anyway.
And so where do you, I know you told that, so where do you connect the 12mm pipe to? Do you connect it to the actual tank, feed it and gravity feed it?
You can connect it at the tank or come up along the side of it, the near side of the engine. I'm just looking at one here now.
Hey guys, we have got to change our plan of attack because we might be going in the wrong direction here, and I am man enough to admit it because I am not a mechanic. I am literally self-taught. So we're about to take the cone system off here, and I actually had a guy called John Deegan get in contact with me, well known for Scania engine expert. Told him what I was doing. He says, stop what you're doing. He says, I bet you it's not that. I says, look, it's just not bleeding up. This is the problem. The lorry will not start because we've got a fueling issue. He says, I guarantee it's airlocked. I said, well, I know it's airlocked, but it's not because of this bit we need to replace. Now, the only reason I am changing this, was because I was told by everybody else it is this. But John says he has never needed to change one of these. He says it's not that. He says you have to bleed these up. He's seen himself put a pressurised air tank with fuel in it and then blows the fuel around it. Before I go any deeper, I am going to try a couple more things because this is getting to quite a big strip down. Especially if it's for something that does need to be changed. We're going to be changing loads of gaskets and like more and more. So before we go any further, let's just try see if we can get the fuel up one more time. This is the plan, right? Here is the return and here is the feed for the fuel lines, right? And that runs back under the chassis into the fuel tank right there. Now, I've been told the best way to do this is get an air tank, half filled with diesel, and basically pressurise the system yourself. I don't have the fittings to do that here. I'm trying to get a hold of people and I can't. Basically, job is buggered. We are at a standstill. I can continue to keep stripping this down and doing what we're going to do, which does seem pointless. So I think we're going to stop for a moment. I'm going to just tidy everything up. I'm going to try and get something sorted for another video. I apologise. I was really hoping to do this and get it running, but this just shows you this is real content. It sometimes doesn't always go to plan. It's not like we've lost. We've just maybe going in the wrong direction due to the advice we've been given. But now we've been given some more advice and knowledge, which I really want to go in that direction now. I want to try that before I do anything more, because this is going to be serious. We also need to look at this turbo because that is something concerning. So I am kind of glad I have done this, because then I wouldn't have noticed the turbo. And then there's other things as well we're going to have to start sourcing. If you do have any 4 Series parts, please get in touch with me on Instagram or Facebook under SJM Flat Out Flat Broke. I'll leave all the links in the description. But yeah guys, we didn't win in this one, but we're going to win. We always will. We're just going to come back with another plan, and I've got a plan. I just need to get the bits. But thanks for watching. If you stuck around to the end, please drop comments, like, subscribe, shares, the whole usual. And the more we build, the more we grow, the more we can do. Maybe one day we'll be fitting big side pipes and big stacks and doing really exciting stuff. But this is the beginning, and I'm glad you are all here. Flat Out, Flat Broke. Ooshed!